Let's bring in right now former New York City Police Commissioner, now the executive chairman of Teneo Risk, Bill Bratton. His new book, an important book for every politician in America to read, The Profession, a memoir of community, race, and the arc of policing in America. It's out in paper book. I say every politician, also every police chief and the rank and file. There's so much important in here. Mr. Commissioner, I want to start, though, we've talked about Uvalde. We've talked about all the ways they screwed up. Let's just do a reset here. Post-Columbine, there are rules of engagement for school shooters that we see one police department after another fail on. Could you explain to us, post-Columbine, if there's an active shooter inside a school, what is every police department supposed to do?
The general philosophy, Joe, is that you go in. One officer, two officers, three officers, that you go in. Quite clearly, that did not happen here. We're going to have to wait for the results of the special commission that's been formed to examine this incident, similar to what's going on in Congress right now about January 6th. Because these drips of information coming out just infuriate us all. The idea that they had ballistic shields, they had a device, the other day there's a report they had a device that would have popped that door. There's no explaining it other than a total failure of lack of leadership and command and control. And command and control in policing is absolutely essential, unity of command. Literally everything we trained for seems to have been violated in this instance.
Also talking about transparency. I mean, they lied and they hid behind the grieving parents in that press conference where all those guys were up on the stage and Beto O'Rourke went in there. They lied, talking about doing everything and don't use grief against these parents. Then you had the police chief doing the same thing when confronted by NBC News. But like you said, it's drip, drip, drip. One lie after another lie after another lie exposed as the days go by. Talk about why it is so important for police departments to be transparent up front.
Ironically, Joe, I teach a class with John Miller, who's very known to you, the Deputy Commissioner of the NYPD, every year, twice up in Boston, with 300 police leaders from around the country on communication skills. And the most important word in police communications is preliminary. The first story is never the last story, and that's clearly the case in this instance. And the idea is to, as quickly as possible, get out what you know, but understand that the story is going to change. And the frustration here is that we trained so much for this. This department actually trained for this and apparently failed when it came time to actually deal with it. We're going to learn a lot, I think, as this committee that's been formed issues its report. And policing is always an evolution. In my book, I write about the evolution of policing. Yeah. We're constantly learning and changing. We learned from Columbine. We will learn from this.
So yesterday I had a friend of mine on who's a former CIA case officer. He was talking about the problems with morality. He's been doing God's work, driving around in some of the toughest parts of Philly, just to try to figure out the challenges that department is facing. I know you watched the segment, you heard the segment, and you agree with so much of what he says. Talk about the challenges that our men and women in blue are facing, whether it's in Philadelphia, whether it's in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, or in the United States Capitol, unfortunately.
They are extraordinary challenges, and that's what I write about in the book. And in fact, the book now has an epilogue to incorporate the events of January 6th. I felt it so important to talk about that impact. Let's face it, Joe, I think you understand in this show that but for the Capitol Police and Metropolitan Police on January 6th, the indispensable institution, as your guest yesterday described them, we would have lost our democracy on that day, but for the actions of the police. And so that the essential nature of policing in our democracy, it can't be denied. But policing has to be centrist, can't be to the left, can't be to the right. And that's the challenge, to stay center. And it's an extraordinary challenge, particularly when so much of our political leadership is so far to the left, so far to the right. You talked earlier about the Republican Party as becoming a party of anarchists, basically. But the Democratic Party also, particularly the progressive left, is creating phenomenal fear in America through many of their policies where effectively they're enabling criminals rather than preventing crime. So we're in a very strange place in America at the moment, and American policing is so often it's the case, we are in the middle. We're the man in the arena, as Theodore Roosevelt described them when he was police commissioner in New York back in the early 1900s. Challenging times for our country, challenging times certainly for American policing.
You know, what I find so fascinating is that after George Floyd's tragic death, Republicans started accusing Democrats of wanting to defund the police. I've had Nancy Pelosi on. I've had Democratic leaders all across the political spectrum come on, and they all say the same thing. And Jim Clyburn has, from the very start, has said, no, don't defund the police. We need more police officers. And that's something that Reverend Al, a guy you know very well, haven't always agreed with him. He hasn't always agreed with you, but he's always talking about we need more police officers. We need reform, yes, but we need more police officers, not less. We need more policing, not less. We're hearing that from the mayor of Washington, D.C. We're hearing that from other mayors who 2 years ago were talking about defunding the police. So